Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where we are currently working on our economy. We've also got a small issue with our loyalists. That's interesting. I wonder what happened here. I don't recall anything like that happening, but legitimacy should erase that over time, so I'm not that concerned about it, to be honest. Higher learning being a thing, huh? University building throughput? Sure, we'll take that. So that seems great. We're currently at 55 innovations. Okay, so that's better, but we need to continue to work on that. So we're working on our railways at this moment, and our university here is not really being worked on. Maybe a little bit, but rounding error. That is a rounding error right there. So that's absolutely fine for now. Now, we are running a small deficit, and we have been for quite a long time. The 4th Persian Army doesn't have a commander, and I'm going to recruit one from the armed forces, not from the landowners. That's very important to differentiate between. So the landowners are a bit of a problem. They have 34.5% clout, and we would definitely like to bring that down. We're on homesteading right now. There's not much that we can do, but I really want to get rid of slave trade. That's very important. So the question is, how can we go ahead and do that? Well, we could try to elevate the power of the intelligentsia. The landowners would be very upset on that, of course. There's also potentially we can work with political movements on that. So there's the pro-slavery movement here, but I don't see an anti-slavery movement here. Okay. So that's definitely something a little bit concerning. No doubt about that. I would love it if Britain would make a push on us to do that. That's something that they can do, and they've just not chosen to do that at this time. Also, I'm not sure why we can't colonize this up here. We have an interest declared, correct? Let's see. We need to have the Colonial Affairs Institution and an interest in the strategic region. Yes. And we do. We have an interest in this region, which is Central Asia. So I don't know why we aren't allowed to colonize here. That's interesting. Maybe we need to let the tension drop. Fascinating. Regardless, either way, we have crested the 8 million GDP mark, which is very, very good. Harvest in Kenya. I don't care about that. Great Britain is embargoing Nicaragua. Okay. And there's also apparently a shipyard being built in Bampur, which is fine. That is a private construction. We're not too concerned about that one. So we need to get some of this railway situation dealt with, for sure. Market access in Kerman is at 95, and I believe we already built a railway there. So we would be just waiting for this to employ up. Yeah. So what we're working on right now is eventually getting railways built in a lot of locations, right? We've got all of this queued up down here for railways. We want at least one level of railway in each location eventually. But we should probably consider moving over to requiring more transportation. Also, we could move to sulfite bleaching, which I think we should do. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Sunni rights movement, huh? Sure, whatever. Secret societies. That's also not too bad. We're going to tolerate the intelligentsia. The intelligentsia wants to do a lot of the things that we want to do, which is good. Now, as you can see here, it's going to cause significant problems in transportation if we move up to rail transportation here, but we do want to do that. The only question is, when? That's the only question, and we would definitely be delighted to do it now. But that will cause significant issues with our transportation infrastructure as it exists at this moment. So we'd love to make our way through this construction. That's like 29 years out, though, to make our way through all of this, and that's understood. Not all of this is entirely top priority. Yeah, that's for sure. We're probably going to move more railways up. In fact, I'm going to place this railway on the other side of this iron mine. Something like this. And then we're probably going to move more of these railways up and intersperse them in. We've got our railway in Fars, which is a little bit inefficient. We've got our railway in Urmia. Same thing, same thing. Okay, in Kandahar, it's going to be a little slower. In northern Baluchistan, slower. And in Persian Hazaristan, slower as well. So all of that is understood. Is there anyone we can go after up over this way? Russia is their overlord. Russia is guaranteeing Bukhara. Kabul is British. British. So basically, we can go after Kandahar. And that's kind of it. But we don't actually have the available demand here. Why is this not available? We don't have an interest in Bombay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we're kind of pinned in at this point. We need to go after Russia or the Ottoman Empire or some sort of a big boy here. And that's going to be a big power move. I want to time that. So we need Russia to get involved in another big war. For now, I just want to continue working on our construction. This university is going to be done in 14 weeks. Okay, that seems reasonably fine. And then, of course, this iron mine is going to eventually finish. But we do need to get going on these railways. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to go ahead and do rail transportation. This is going to cause problems, but I want to know where so that we can prioritize that. So we can move all of these over to rail transportation. So I'm seeing Herat. I'm seeing quite a lot of locations, actually. So logging camps are going to go to rail transportation as well. This is going to create input goods shortages of transportation, and that's understood. That's completely fine for the moment. Do we want to be on craftsman sewing? Kinda. I guess that's fine. We can absolutely go over to pot stills if we wanted to produce more liquor, but I don't think that's required at this time. Do we want to run sweeteners? I think that's okay. We could produce more groceries and consume less grain, but more sugar. Yeah, I think that's absolutely a-okay. So that looks fine for now. We could also go to citrus orchards to produce more sugar to deal with that, and also fig orchards. So it would be something kind of like this. We should be on harvesting tools for rice farms. No doubt about that. And what other production goods do we have going on here? I think for the moment, this is okay. We don't have a big need for hardwood, so I don't think we need to do any of that. Okay, we're going to have some transportation shortages, and that is absolutely understood. So we see a shortage in Herat. That is this railway here. Okay, in Persian Quetta, we just finished a railway there. Persian Hazaristan. Okay. So where is Persian Hazaristan? That is this one. Okay. In Kandahar, that is this one. In Bampur, which is this guy. Okay. In Luristan. In Iraq-e-Ajami, that's our capital. That's this right here. Okay. In Fars. In Tabriz. In Mazandaran, which is probably over here. We may already have a railway there. Let's check that. Yes, we've already got a railway there. This is actually maxed out, and so we should queue up a new one. So I queued up a new one at the top of the queue there. So that is in Mazandaran. That'll be okay. And then what else do we have going on here? This is Khorasan, so we'll move this up. And then this is Kerman, which I believe we already have a railway in. Let's double check that. Yes, we have a railway there. So, and then Persian Hormuz, which is any of these? Yeah, this guy right here. Okay, so these are the railways where we have significant input goods issues. I'm going to put a university there. Actually, I'm going to work on it like this. I want to get these railways done. So we've got branching out completed, and 33% railway building throughput, 33% motor industries throughput in... Is this specifically in Iraqi-Ajami? Yeah, from the motor industries. We're going to get the progress on steel railway technology cars, though. That's what we're going to take here. So that seems fine. And we need to get these railways completed. That is the top priority at this moment. So we're going to work on that. We can see that our construction queue currently has 20 years on it, and that's understood. So we're going to get these railways worked on. It's going to take a while. Great Britain sided with Herat in a diplomatic play against Kabul. That's interesting. We can lean over here. I don't think they're going to give us anything in that diplomatic play because they've already got Britain. But this would be very interesting if we were able to get any land out of this. We'll keep an eye on that, but I don't think that they're going to give us anything. I would be shocked if they did. We're open to be swayed, though, so give us an offer. I don't think they'll give us anything. So our GDP is absolutely tanked, and you might ask, well, why has that happened? Well, the answer is our transportation. This is the reason why our GDP has tanked. That's okay. We know that we need to work our way through this, and getting our railways very, very online is good. Kabul has backed down. Okay. Understood. So that's the thing. So the railway here is going to be done in about 21 weeks, and I do want to move this iron mine up here because I do want to not be building exclusively railways, although this is in Mazandaran, so I'd like to have it go after the railway. In which case... Oh, Great Britain just enforced military access on it. We are forced to join all current wars initiated by Great Britain. We're not going to help them fight Nicaragua. We have no way to get there. Get out of here, Britain. I don't care about this. Okay. We're not participating in that. Under no circumstances will we be participating in that one. So our GDP is continuing to shrink. That's okay. We just need to work our way through this. And actually, we need to... Let's prioritize that university. I want to get that done and out of the way. And then let's move this iron mine back down. I want to work just on the required railways at this point. And that means that we don't actually need the railways that are queued up back here yet. We'll likely need them eventually, but let's get them out of the list for now. So our construction queue is down to 16 years. That's understood. And we're working on expanding a tooling workshop, so we're going to run out of money very soon. But there's intensive agriculture unlocked. So that's going to give us access to fertilizer plants, explosives factories, but more importantly, new production methods for our farms. So let's hop into our buildings here, and let's take a look at what those might end up looking like. So we can go to increased wool gathering, and that seems wonderful. Let's do that. Again, this might create us some problems. We're going to have a lack of fertilizer input. We'll see what that ends up looking like. We can import it from the British market. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, we've got a low training rate. Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. So we're out of money at this point. I'm going to pause our construction. There we go. And now... Co-belligerent in default. Hilarious. Now we're going to have to build up a little bit of money here. So that's understood. So obviously our GDP not doing so well right now, but this is a short-term loss for a long-term gain is the idea. We could bring back down, actually we probably should bring down these production methods again. So that would be going back over here. Now we know where we need to build these, and we can turn these back on later once we have the railways constructed, right? So we can do something like that, and that's something we should do. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's going to boost our GDP right back up. And there's a Bessemer process. So we now have access to reinforced concrete. That's going to be additional construction sector throughput. That's going to be expensive, of course, but that will also give us access to a new production method for our steel mill. I say steel mill singular because we only have one. And there we go. So that seems fine for now. Let's get our economy recovered here. And we're just building up a little bit of gold reserves. I would love to see some privatization happening here. Nicaragua is now a British protectorate. Yep, that seems about right. Maymana is damaging relations. Okay, I wish them luck with that. Cool. So Kiva is now improving relations. Our GDP is going to continue to rise back up as we have our goods substitution happen. That's absolutely understood. Expanding opium plantations next? Okay. That's not necessarily ideal because I want to build up a bunch of gold reserves. But let's go ahead and unpause our government construction at this time. And I want to see where that's going to be. This guy is in the Ulema. Okay, I don't really care too much about what the Ulema has going on. There's a man-o'-wars shortage in the British market. Noted. Okay, so that all seems fine for now. No law changes that we could make other than state religion. We could go down to freedom of conscience. That's interesting. Because that would allow us to go to public schools. That's very interesting. We'll try it. I'm not entirely certain it'll work, but we'll try it. It's going to be interesting. So that's underway. So we're at least doing something there. Now, we're going to need to get all of these railways done before we switch our production methods back, right? And we can see our GDP soaring right back up as the goods substitution occurs. And that's absolutely expected. So we're going to be finishing up our university here shortly. And yeah, we're definitely spending some money. That's understood. But we have a lot of this that we need to get through. So 10%, 10%, 10%. 27.1, I'm going to move Kandahar down to the bottom here, 27.4. That actually goes a little below Kandahar. And then Herat is 28.6. Okay, so these being at the end is all fine. Cool. So we'll see what happens with freedom of conscience. It may or may not pass. It really depends. We're kind of pinned in over this way. I'd love to get Turkmenia going here, but alas, not too much to be done here. Tension is still volatile. It's decaying. Maybe we'll be able to colonize that again eventually. Did we lose our colonial affair? No, is the answer. Okay. So that's understood. Absolutely understood. The martyr, huh? Actually, this isn't too bad, but we could get a 25% chance of a 10% enactment success chance, or 15%. Unfortunately, we did not succeed it. And then we immediately had to take a setback because we hit 0%. So that's fine. We rolled the dice and lost, but you know, that happens. So we're going to finish up our railway in Persian Hormuz here in 5 weeks. It's going to take us a while to get this all done, but we definitely know that we need to get all of that completed. So we're currently building up a little bit of debt. I think that's fine for now. Our interest rate is pretty low. I think our interest rate is quite a bit lower than it was. We'll need to keep an eye on it. And once our interest hits somewhere around like 3K, we're probably going to have to pause our construction unless we want to take another bankruptcy, which I would prefer not to, if we could at all help it. Okay, so there's that done. What is this? Bahrain requests that we support their independence. Who are they? Russia. Interesting. So Bahrain is these guys down here. I don't really feel like we can take Russia. I'm going to decline that for now. We need to work on our economy. Our economy absolutely needs a lot of work. So for the moment, we'll see what happens with freedom of conscience here, and we need to continue to work on constructing some of these railways. I would like to move these to be something kind of like this, but, I mean, that's going to be fairly slow. We stalled again. Okay. Well, we take another setback here. That's not a good sign that we've got 2 setbacks in 2 rolls, but, you know, we'll see. That's really not a great sign. Let's get these railways worked on. And what are we working on in tech? We're working on reinforced concrete at this moment. We might want to back off and work on something like fractional distillation. That would only take 3 years to research. Or canneries. Let's actually work on canneries for right now. I'd like to work our way through this production tree a lot faster. What's actually being exposed? Let's see here. Chemical bleaching. Okay. That seems fine. Power of the purse is being exposed in military. Okay. And then mass communication in society. Sure. We could take the authority. That would be useful. So that all seems relatively fine. We're at 746 interest at this moment. We need to get law changes done, though. That's one of our biggest problems right now, is we need to get some of these law changes through. There's just very few options that we have for law changes with our current structure. So we'll see what happens with state religion. Fingers crossed that we manage to actually get some halfway decent rolls here. Okay. We should probably stop construction. Well, we've got a ways to go until we hit that 3K on interest. Anti-clericalism, huh? 10% enactment success chance. We'll take it. 2 setbacks this early is bad, though. That's a bad sign. So we'll see if anything ends up happening. For the time being, we've got 14 weeks left on this railway in Khorasan. I think we finish this, and then we probably need to do something about our financial situation. Expanding a railway in Arabistan, huh? Okay. Well, that's a little awkward. We are having some population growth, but we need to get off of traditionalism. It's rough. Traditionalism is really, really rough for us right now. So switching that would be ideal. Hopefully freedom of conscience passes, because that will give us access to other things. How are we doing on our innovations at this point? 57. We've just got so many things that we're quite behind in. We've got a lot of catch up to do. So far, so good. And our credit limit is very, very high. So that's good to know. 1.2k in interest. It's only going to be so long, though, before our interest overwhelms our ability to pay. And that's not good. We definitely don't want to have that happen again. So I'm going to let this railway in Khorasan finish up, and then we'll have to pause construction. I was hoping that our financial districts would do more privatization, but alas, they have not. Do we not allow privatization of railroads? Let's see here. Furniture manufactories can be privatized. Paper mills. What war is this? What are you doing, Britain? You're fighting France. Huh. Okay. Noted. So we are going to have to actually defend ourselves here. We're going to send these guys out here. We're going to send these guys down over here. We're going to send these guys down over to this front. And then we'll hold this force in reserve for right now. So Russia is involved in this. But, I mean, it doesn't really affect us in any meaningful way. So we're going to finish up this railway in Khorasan, and then we absolutely have to pause our government construction. There's no way around it. Okay, so this out over here, we do have a small advantage in. We're going to pause our government construction now. Okay, so we're going to see about just pushing our way through here nice and easy. So they sent some forces out here. That's understood. We have some vulnerable fronts down over this way, but this isn't relevant to us. So I don't care about that exactly. What I do care about is getting these fronts cleaned up quickly, and then we can maybe deal with these. This up here, we're actually winning this. But I want to switch this army to be... Oh, you're already on defend front. Okay, looks good. So that's fine for now. I think that we have to mobilize this force and send them up to this front here. and they should be on defend front as well. This guy is attacking, and this guy's on adamant defense. He should be on advanced front. Okay, there we go. So what do we have going on here? The Shah is intervening in the political process. Okay. So this would progress it forward to consideration. Done. Okay, so that all seems fine. This is, of course, a large war that we are currently involved in. So let's just see about cleaning up these fronts over here. Okay, that is currently done. That seems fine. So this force is moving down to this Trucial Coast front. And there's a front up over here now, too, that's broken out, but we're not going to be too concerned about that one just yet. Looks like there are forces moving up there. Okay. Where are you going? You're going to this front? I think that you should probably come up over here, actually. There you go. Get turned around. These guys will come to this front. Okay. Legislative Graveyard. Yeah, unfortunate. I'm not surprised that that happened, to be honest, when we got two setbacks in the first 2 rolls. That's not shocking. We are working on paying off our debt, and eventually that will happen. But we're also working on fighting this war, and there's Holstein that has capitulated. Okay, sure. Seems fine. Looks like right now... So, okay, so we're allied with Prussia in this. Okay, it's a little awkward. We're winning mostly up in this area, though, so that's fine. Brunswick is out of this war. And we'll just continue to clean up these fronts, and then we'll send our forces over to continue to help hold here. That's all we need to do, is hold off Russia. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to hopefully wrap up this war and also continue our private constructions. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.